Nebraska Football Hall of Famer.
Blitz is on. Taylor picks it up. Fires. Touchdown, Nebraska.
Canadian Football League Grey Cup champion.
Taylor again, wide open.
And first-team All-American quarterback Steve Taylor.
5 for Steve Taylor. That is a new Nebraska record.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, former All-American quarterback Steve Taylor.
Yes, happy to be with you guys here on a Wednesday. It is weekly rap sessions with All-American quarterback Steve Taylor, as we have got some game to talk about, which is great from this past week. Nebraska, of course, opening up the season with a 40-7 victory over UTEP. And, of course, it is Colorado week. The hated Buffaloes coming to town. Deion Sanders, the whole show. It's going to be quite a bit of fun. And, of course, it's great to have Steve in here, one of the best quarterbacks ever at Nebraska, to lace it up for the Scarlet and Cream, to talk about the debut of Dylan Raiola and, of course, the showdown with Shedeur Sanders coming up. So plenty to talk about. Yeah. But I did want to start with this as we hear Shabuzi in the background. Yeah. Shabuzi got no love at the game. Did you see that?
No.
So they have.
When did they play it? Because I didn't hear it either.
Well, they didn't play it was the thing, and they've got this song of the day or song of the day. What I don't know what they call it, but they have the fans vote on the song. There's 3 songs that you could pick from, and there was like 800 votes or something like that. And Post Malone and Morgan Wallen song ended up winning, and Shabuzi got like 3% of the vote. I was thinking Steve must be pretty frustrated right now.
But I'm still going with it though.
Yeah,
it's still my song.
Still your song.
It's the best theme song.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I'm thinking about putting it on the phone ring. When someone calls me. Yeah, I have to learn how to do that first though.
That's funny because they used to do that more like that's maybe mid 2000s. Like that really became a thing, and you'd like pay for it. And then record it and stuff, but it's harder to do that. I'm glad you said that because I forgot about that. Most people don't even have ringtones anymore.
How can they not like that song?
Yeah, I don't know.
We were jamming it at the Big Ten Sports Bar with our pregame.
Yeah,
it was getting some love there.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
It's a good song.
That hurts, man.
Yeah,
that hurts.
Come on, Husker Nation.
That hurts.
Well, and it was funny too. Because they also did so, and I was thankful. I always like when I get to go to a game. Obviously, working here sometimes I do post game or stuff like that. So it was fun to go to the game, but you get a different experience if you're at the game as opposed and you know what you're doing there. I also saw some love for you.
I saw that.
On the big, you did see that. Guess what year it was, and I was trying to figure out what year it was for a while, and then it said, "Oh, okay, Steve Taylor was the quarterback," and I'm going, "Okay,
you got 3 chances. You got 3 years."
Yeah. I think I said 88, and my wife made fun of me. I was wrong. It was 87.
87.
Yeah.
But we played them both years. We played them 87 and 88. But 87 out there in Arizona.
Yeah.
So I was feeling the vibe pregame. They had good music.
Yeah.
And they were hyped and everything. I knew UTEP was in trouble when I saw them doing the dance to our music. When they were on the sideline before kickoff.
Yeah.
I was like, they're here for a paycheck.
Trying to get hyped up. Yeah.
They're here for a paycheck. But,
well, to give the Miners a little bit of credit, they're for about a quarter.
Maybe. They had maybe one series when they went to hurry up.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, credit Nebraska's defense for sure, too. When you step back and look at it, and we'll talk a lot of offense here, so I just want to say this out of the gate.
I'm a defense. You gotta have defense to win championships. I'm good with that.
Yeah, I'm just saying. They did have the one touchdown drive. It was 3 plays or whatever it was. It was really quick, big play downfield. And at that point, you're a little bit worried. Nebraska, if you remember,
like, okay,
it's a little weird.
Let's tighten this up.
And then Nebraska, of course, drove downfield, fumbled, and so you're thinking, okay, here we go again. This is how a team like
going there with that. I knew that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah,
but I was like, okay, now we gotta lock this down.
And thankfully, Nebraska's defense stood up, got a safety, and then from there, obviously, UTEP was not able to score. So if you look back at it, run defense, pass defense, a couple interceptions, they did really well. And the defense seemed to have picked up where they left off last year. The offense, of course, looks completely different under with Dylan Raiola
and the new quarterback coach.
Yeah,
I think Satterfield. I was very pleased with the play calling and what we're doing. I was pleased with the attempt to establish a running game. So we're going to need that next week. We're going to need that throughout the entire year. So that effort was there. It kind of felt almost like a spring game. I don't know about you.
A little bit, yeah.
I mean, and this is nothing against the Miners, but Dylan was really not. The pocket was pretty clean their entire day, and they were getting, I think, at one time almost 10 yards a pop rushing the football. So Nebraska pretty much controlled the line of scrimmage and were able to do what they want to do. And Dylan had a lot of time to go through his progressions, which was really nice to see. Obviously, he throws a nice ball. He's a little cute. He's a little cute for me. I mean, the style points and all that stuff, but otherwise, I think it was a good, solid day for the Huskers. And next week could be a better test, or this week could be a better test in regards to, where we are with overall team speed, physicality, and that kind of stuff. So it's going to be a good week this week.
College football is interesting, and I noticed that just watching as a whole is and we saw this last year where Harburg would have kind of his sidearm passes sometimes. That's almost become less like, oh, that looks like Patrick Mahomes, and like something that you just have to have in your utility belt because people are doing it. Or maybe you don't. That's why I would ask you, is because watching college football, it's not just Dylan that's trying to emulate.
It's the whole
Patrick. Everybody looks like it.
It's a whole new era, and I don't really know where that originated from. Because we're always taught your basic fundamentals: ball by your ear, over the top, release, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Now, which makes a lot of sense. Now it's all about just getting the ball to the receivers or to the tight ends.
However
you can do it, and you need to do that when you're trying to. When you're 6'1", 6'2", or 6'3", and you're trying to throw over a 6'5", 6'6" outside linebacker, that makes it very, very tough. When you got defensive tackles that are, 6'5", 6'6", 6'7", it's hard to find those passing lanes. Now, I learned more about that when I was playing behind Doug Flutie, simply because Doug was only 5'9", 5'10", and he needed to find passing lanes, so he would have a different throwing motion. But it was nothing like what they're doing now. Right now, they're practicing that. They're teaching them in different angles and just get the ball to the receivers, and it makes a lot of sense. And you saw that yesterday, and I like it. I wish it's fun. I would have a lot of fun with that. So that's what they're teaching now. Now, when I say cute with Raiola, I want to see him be himself. That's what I'm waiting to see. Right now, he's almost like a video of Patrick Mahomes as far as the way he's, the number and just the look and the style. You see a lot of that, right? There's nothing wrong with seeing these guys because they're great quarterbacks and what they do. But I want to see the real Dylan. And one day that's going to happen. You want to be defining of what you're doing and whatnot. And plus, there's only one Patrick Mahomes. I don't care what you say, what you do.
Yeah.
There's only one. You're only going to get away with so much, right? But no, I think he had a very good day. He was a little over 200-something yards, high percentage, threw some nice balls. Want to see a little tighter ball, a lot of touch, because a lot of those passes he threw deep, with better athletes. They have a chance to react and maybe go up there and get that. But for the most part, it was really good to see. And then I didn't really see him elude people. I want to see when he's under duress, under pocket, and in pocket, can he get out and get 10 yards on his own, 15 yards, or can he take it 50 or 60? There's a couple opportunities where the reads were not there, and he hung back there. There's a time clock. Now you got to say, okay, let's go out. Let's make something happen. Let's get a positive play versus just throwing the ball out of play, which you want to do under certain circumstances. But he had plenty of opportunities where he could have taken off. Maybe he got 5 or 6 or 7 yards.
Yeah.
And that way you're 2nd and 4, 2nd and 5, 2nd and 6, and you're not 2nd and 10.
Yeah, I did see a little bit of that thought is that, he's waiting for his receivers to get open. Sometimes it doesn't happen. Sometimes you just take the yards that are there.
Exactly.
I like that breakdown because there were, I think from the spring game, obviously different levels of competition, like you're saying, but not overly too much because, right, the backups at Nebraska, UTEP would love to have those guys.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But even from that game, I felt like, a lot of the ball placement was really good. And then in this game, there were a few throws that you thought, okay, he's really just kind of throwing it up there and hoping his receiver makes the play.
Which is what you want to do.
Yeah.
And that's why he had the last touchdown. He had great placement on where he put it outside shoulder, so only he can catch it, and that's what he did. So, no, it's nice to see that we got a guy that can deliver the football, and he's very accurate. He is accurate. So now it's just a matter of when he's under duress, when he's under pressure, can he elude? Can he get outside, make some things happen, extend the play? He was almost dragged down a couple of times, but he was able to get the ball off. So, and I'm not being, when I evaluate quarterbacks or anyone, I try not to be overly critical. And, but UTEP, to me, it's a good opening. I would like to see a little tougher opponent, just a little tougher, right? I mean, they didn't really pose a threat
Yeah.
Definitely in the second half, they didn't pose a threat. And then after they had the one little hurry up offense fast drive, they just kind of, folded their tent and everything. So, but no, I think for the Huskers, the game management was good. Defensively, we were solid. There weren't any stupid, delay of games, a lot of that kind of stuff. There weren't a lot of penalties. There were a few, but weren't a lot of penalties. We looked organized. We looked ready. We looked prepared. I think special teams, I think we did okay with that. So all those things were pleasing of what you want to see in a season opener. Now they're going to have to tighten up a bunch of stuff, right?
Yeah.
And for 4 quarters, they're going to have to bring it. So I'm excited about this week. There's no question.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Nebraska, Colorado week always brings out a little extra juice, but this week especially, with Nebraska finally having some minimum. I mean, you talk about opening with a more difficult opponent. They've tried that. They've lost over the last several years.
They haven't been too tough, though. You had to the BYUs and who else?
In the last 5 years, you've lost to Minnesota and Northwestern. And so, it's not the top. It's not Ohio State. They did open one year with Ohio State and lost to them, too. But it's for Nebraska fans, at least. I just feel like I'm just glad to be 1-0.
I was never threatened that they would beat us.
No.
From what I've seen of them, they just didn't have enough overall team talent to really challenge us.
And to credit Scotty Walden too, he's 34 years old for one, and that was his first game under the program. So
no doubt. And then we were doing some, we got a young quarterback too. I wanted to see how he was really going to react in front of 90,000+. I mean, this isn't a spring game or nothing like that. This is a real deal. This is live. This counts. So no, I was pleased with that. I tell you what I was not pleased with is this new screening when you're trying to get into the game.
You have some problem getting in?
I had to wait additional 30 minutes, before I'm just right in. But it was like going through the airport. The TSA, I'm like, they're wanting you, and they're putting the metal detector on your wallet.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like, come on. So I think, and I heard some of the security guards talk about that. We're going to have to beef this up. They're going to have to beef it up. They're going to need at least 2 security stations, at least 2 people manning a station to get people through. So especially when it was a fairly warm day. It wasn't hot, and it's going to be cold. So but I heard them comment about that, so I'm pretty sure they're going to work that wrinkle out.
Well, we always have to remember it's not just the first week for the football team.
Exactly.
Everybody involved. Yeah. You're running through it.
I think the no cash went okay.
Yeah. It seemed to. I didn't hear
I actually saved money because I didn't want to give them my card. But I was watching people deal with that, and no one complained.
Yeah,
and it worked pretty smoothly.
They had signs around to let you know going in that's how it's going to be.
And you're gonna give a mandatory 20% tip.
Yeah,
you know how that is now.
Is that what it says on there?
Well, yeah, they just kind of. I've noticed now they're starting to put like the 25%, 20, and then the 15.
Yeah,
when you first look at it, before it's like 15, 20, and then whatever, right?
Yeah.
Now they're
flipping
vendors. They're flipping it, so people are just hitting the first button. You better watch out now, right? You better watch out. So some little things like that. But I think that went smoothly.
Yeah,
I didn't go to a concession stand, but as far as being in the seats and everything, that seemed to work pretty good.
Yeah, just pass it. It's different. You're used to passing some money around. Now you just pass the card on down.
So that went all right. So for the most part, I really give the Huskers, all things being equal, with the game atmosphere and getting, I give them probably a B+.
Yeah,
it wasn't bad. It's pretty smooth.
Yeah. What would you say for Dylan Raiola? Just jumping back to that, because I do think it is interesting. He threw for over 200 yards, 2 touchdowns, nothing close. Never had a pick, something that was close to a pick.
He had 1 or 2 that probably would have been contested if with a
against Colorado,
with a high quality team.
Yeah. But my point is, true freshman. I mean, usually if you're going to start a true freshman, I know how much hype he's been up to.
No, he was.
But for a true freshman, looked pretty darn solid, and looks like a guy that Coach Satterfield's going to have a lot more. I think he's going to get a lot more credit for his offensive thinking this year as opposed to last year. It's a lot of it's who you have to work with.
That always the better the coach, the better the players, the better the coach looks, and that goes both ways. But I tell you. What it was pleasing to see was how he managed the team, how he managed the huddle. He never seemed to get flustered. I think he made some good adjustments at the line of scrimmage. I don't know exactly what their game plan was. It appeared as if he saw something, that he studied the game tape, he studied the film, the checklist, and he got the Huskers into the right play at the right time, especially when we had the big run. He made a couple of different checks, got into the right play call, and I think we had like that 40-yard scamper or something like that. So that that was good to see. So he's prepared. And he's only going to get better and better with that. Now, UTEP, that's one thing that was kind of disappointing. You would have thought you were playing, I don't want to say Monopoly or playing some type of football. I'm not a video game guy, but they just lined up 4-2, 4-3, cover 2, or whatever.
Yeah.
Right? They were about as basic as you can get. They weren't moving around, a lot of fakes, not a lot of disguising coverages, things like that. So it was pretty generic, pretty basic. It worked in our favor because we were prepared. You didn't have too much. It simplified your whole offensive game planning and everything. So that made it a lot easier for the Huskers. I mean, if you saw some of the passes with the curl routes, I mean, they were pretty big zones. They were 5 feet around the entire receiver. You know, it wasn't that tight. So they were just lining up in their positions and getting to their areas of coverage and linebacking duties and that kind of stuff. So it's going to be different next week. Now, I wasn't terribly impressed with Colorado's defense. Now, they played better the second half. The first half, they were soft. There wasn't a lot of pressure on the quarterback. Now, South Dakota State?
North Dakota State.
North Dakota State. Give them credit. They had a very good game plan. A lot of misdirection, under center, in shotgun, moving the pocket. Their offensive line was fairly good. They had a pretty good running attack. They had a mobile quarterback that could throw the football and that could run. So I think offensively they were more of a threat than UTEP against the Huskers. And it took Colorado a half to adjust to that. You know, so it's going to be an interesting ball game. I feel better now that I think we have a chance to win that football game.
Yeah.
If we take care of the football and execute, I think we'll have and we got some playmakers. Now we'll see where they line up talent-wise with Colorado, with Colorado players. Originally, I was giving Colorado a greater edge just because of their playmaking ability and their offense. Shedeur does not make a lot of mistakes. Very, very prolific. They have a lot of talent. So if they're in space, which you saw with UTEP, they catch that ball, they could take it to the house. That's going to be the difference. And can we keep Shedeur off the field?
Yeah. It's gonna be a battle. It's gonna be fun. And Colorado does bring a significant challenge with some of those athletes that they bring to the table. You did mention something. I know Husker fans were kind of interested in that. How rare do you think it is for a true freshman? We just saw a lot of checks and I don't want to say audibles, but with Dylan, kind of commanding the offense that way. How rare do you think that is for a true freshman?
I don't think it's very rare at all.
Not anymore.
Just like going to the NFL. These kids are so far in advance than what we were in my generation or before me, and they're running similar type offenses, and their skill sets are just great. So, and we talked about this, preseason that he was here, fall camp, spring football, and then fall camp. That's almost a year under your belt. He probably had more snaps than I did when my whole freshman year when I was playing. So it's a huge advantage, and obviously he's a student of the game, so that helps a great deal. And the information that they have with the iPads, they can take that stuff with them. It's with them on their phones, on their iPads, constantly. So you can be prepared, and I think that was awesome. And he's a student of the game, and he seems to love that. And that's what you want out of every player, and especially your quarterback.
Now let's get to the wide receiver rotation, because I thought that was interesting. We came into the year, you've got 9 wide receivers on the depth chart, and you're going, okay, I don't know how much separation there are. This is how they're kind of putting them on the depth chart. I expected a lot of rotation. What we ended up getting is Isaiah Neyor, Jamal Banks, and Janarian Bonner out there often.
That's what you want. A lot of rotation. That's what you want, especially in your opening game against UTEP. You want to see what they can do. You want to establish timing, because your timing is different during fall camp than in spring ball, fall camp, and then the regular season. I mean, it's game speed. It's a big difference in everything. So, no, and even with the running backs, we saw a running back by committee.
Yeah.
But, it was like, I'd like to see us, we did go over 100-something yards, which was good. The backs were solid. They were running, making some people miss. I would have liked to see more big plays in the running game. Like we saw the 140.
Yeah.
I would like to see more stretches, because that gives you an idea of our team speed and guys' ability to make things miss. Because when you play those better opponents, which we're going to do in the Big Ten and other opponents, we're going to have to be able to do that. So, and you don't know until you play those games. Because, like I say, the game speed is different in practices in spring ball versus a regular season. But you're right. We've had some tight ends get in there and make some things happen, which is good. So we've upgraded our talent tremendously offensively. We have more depth there, more speed, more athleticism. So that's going to serve us better in the future.
Yeah, we got plenty more to talk about. It is Colorado week, so we'll look forward to that and still break down what we saw against UTEP. We got to take a quick break. We'll be back with weekly wrap sessions with All-American quarterback Steve Taylor.
And no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
Are you looking to get into the electrical construction industry or wanting a new scene? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
McKinney's Irish Pub in the Haymarket is your place for English Premier League soccer. On Saturday, Arsenal tied Brighton 1 apiece, followed by Leicester City falling to Aston Villa 2-1. On the final game of Saturday action, Man City defeated West Ham 3-1. On Sunday, Chelsea tied Crystal Palace 1-1, and then Liverpool cruised by Man United 3-0. The top two teams in the EPL standings are Manchester City and Liverpool, both at 3-0. You can catch all these matches and more to McKinney's Irish Pub, your headquarters in Lincoln for English Premier League soccer at 8th and P.
Over 75% of the patients that come to Limitless Male have been told over and over again by their primary care providers that their testosterone level is fine. Guess what? If you have all the symptoms of low testosterone, you're not fine. Come get a second opinion at Limitless Male. We have helped tens of thousands of men feel optimal again, and we can help you. Stop waiting. Come see the men's health experts. Book your free consult online at limitlessmale.com.
Hey there, fellas. It's your girl Jordan with Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Let's talk about trading up. Not what you're thinking. You could never trade her in, but you can trade up her stone if you like. Signify the growth of your love, the challenges you have overcome, or any part of your love journey by trading up her diamond. Whether it's been 5 years, 25 years, or 50, say it with a bling. Big love, big bling. We got you. Until next time, this is Jordan at Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Happy shopping, guys.
It's the fall sports season, and that means that the school year is back in session and you're planning road trips for Nebraska football games and following your kids around to their different events. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors Lot is full of great vehicles to take home so you don't have to worry about your current car struggling through another season. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Lake and find your next ride. As your fall schedule gets busy, you'll need a reliable way to get to your destinations. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
You already know that Select Plumbing takes care of all your plumbing needs, including water heaters, faucet repairs, leaks, drips, sump pumps, and more. Now, they're able to help you with your heating and air conditioning as well. Select Plumbing has recently expanded into residential heating and air, and they're excited to bring this new service to their complete list of plumbing services. Call to book an appointment today at 402-560-6197 or go to selectplumbinginc.com, serving Lincoln, Seward, Milford, and the surrounding areas.
Football season is here, and that means that fall is here. So start the season off right with Holidays in Bennett with Tailored Life. Make plans to stop by Bennett from September 6th through the 8th for open houses for shops. And on Sunday, enjoy a street market with creative collabs with over 30 vendors, food trucks, and a kids zone. It's Holidays in Bennett from September 6th through the 8th. Make sure to stop and see Tailored Life, Garden, Home, and Gift when you stop by.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back here with weekly rap sessions with All-American quarterback Steve Taylor here on 93.7 The Ticket. And it is Colorado week. It is a fun week to look forward to. It also is a fun week to look back on a little bit. Steve, you have any favorite memories from your Colorado games? I know you played them probably, started 3 games against them?
Yeah, I did start 3-1. The first one didn't go so great. We got upset down there in Boulder. that didn't start off that great. But no, otherwise, then we went down with my junior year. They came here and we in the hunt for the national championship. They took us to the wire, but we got. That was my senior year. Yeah, my junior year we went up there. The following year, I think Keith Endzone Jones and Kenny Clark, they ran for almost 300 something yards. Yeah, so we pretty much had our way with them. But no, it was. They don't like us and we don't like them.
Yeah,
it just gets nasty. And now everything is just polarized with prime time and. Those kids are going to be jacked, and he has a little bit of history here. We played him. We played him the first night game my sophomore year, and we beat him here, so he was on that team. So he's gonna have his team prepared. The energy is going to be a lot different. Yeah, for sure.
You remember going into that week? Was there any game planning around Deion, or was it just not necessarily?
I was about as nervous as you can get.
Were you?
Yeah. It was my first start.
Yeah,
as a true sophomore, and I was green.
Yeah.
and I didn't have very much experience besides, the Oklahoma game and the Fiesta Bowl and mopping up, throughout the year. But my snaps are very limited. It was our first night game. So there's a lot of history, a lot of stuff going on with that.
They didn't install the lights there?
They had these temporary lights that they brought in for that.
Okay.
It was kind of a misty night. It kind of rained a little bit. What else? Oh, we had the ticket scandal, so that was in the news. Guys are selling their tickets for cars or whatnot. So we kind of got hit with a little minor infraction there.
Yeah.
So there was some controversy.
Yeah.
And of course, Florida State being ranked in the top 10.
Yeah, absolutely.
That in itself, So we came out victorious. I think I was National Player of the Week that game.
Oh yeah,
it turned out all right.
That sounds pretty good.
So hopefully the Huskers and Rail are gonna have the same thing against Colorado.
Yeah,
be nice.
And it's funny too. I mean, with Deion coming in, Warren Sapp obviously on his staff has some Huskers with Nebraska. Colt McCoy is going to be on the call.
A bunch of movie stars, some Hall of Famers.
Yeah, Terrell Owens was there last week. We'll see if he shows up.
Yeah,
Lil Wayne, you never know. He travels along with Deion sometimes.
So the energy and the vibe is going to be, and those guys are extremely confident.
Yeah.
So it's going to be it's going to be a totally different environment.
I did want to ask you too, because I do know your last year, 1988, you guys were Big 8 champs and you beat Colorado, I think 7-0 at home there. Did you know that Colorado would
Oklahoma? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was just talking about the Colorado game.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was just wondering, did you know, because at that time, Bill McCartney and throughout your career, Bill McCartney was there, and Jerry DiNardo was the offensive coordinator. But did you feel like in 1988 that, because they won the title 2 years after that, did you feel like they were they were on the move?
They were on the move. They were on the move. They were getting good.
You could tell,
and they had some players and everything. They got Darren Hagen from California, so they kind of followed Nebraska and what they were doing, and he was building something.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to be the guinea pig when I went there. But no, I knew it was coming. And then they had some Heisman Trophy winners after that.
Yeah.
Running backs and everything, and they had a good Bieniemy and all those guys. So it was they were on the move.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised of what they did.
Yeah. So that's interesting, because just looking back, that was kind of their building on the way up, and at least it wasn't, like you said, it wasn't with you having to take ball that you got the better of them.
Oh, we did, but they were tough, man. Yeah. I mean, they were tough and they were physical. They didn't back down, and I was not surprised at all. So we're going to see where obviously it's a different team now with them throwing the football and all that kind of stuff, but they're going to be a force to be reckoned with for us.
Yeah,
for us. Their schedule is pretty tight too.
Yeah, it is.
I would like it better if we got them the latter half of the season. That way they're beat up and everything. I mean, but they're going to have fresh legs. They're going to have fresh legs. They're going to have a lot of confidence going on. So they're going to come in here and want to make a statement as well. So this is going to be a great game. It's going to be a great week.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that the eyes of the nation are going to be on this week just because of all the factors that kind of play in. But it is kind of that same idea is, and maybe Colorado at that time was at a different point, but that Colorado and Nebraska, this is basically to see who's off-season talk, who in week one, who's coming along.
Who's who. That's why
week two, who's coming along.
And that's why I say, and it's nothing against Dylan. I want to see Dylan.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see what I think he's capable of doing. I mean, the damage that he can do and how teams will have to prepare for him. And it's not all about him. Don't get me wrong. I just in general watching him, I think he's more of a guy that needs 10 other people around him. You need an offensive line, you need tight ends, you need receivers, you need protection. You got to have a clean pocket for him. That I know he can be very, very productive, very, very tough. But that's not what we're seeing in this day and age.
Mm-hmm.
You look in the NFL and you look in college sports, you're looking at guys that can not only extend the play, that they can really hurt you with their legs. And I'm not saying that they have to go, 60, 70, 80, 90 yards. I'm talking even Mahomes will run. He'll get a 50 or 60 or 70-yard scramper and want everyone to be like, what happened? He'll make you miss. He's really deceptive, and he can kill you. Now, obviously, he's one of the best to probably ever play the game. But Aaron Rodgers, all Brett Favre, the Texas quarterback, a lot of those guys, Justin Fields, there's a lot of guys that can literally beat you with their feet. And I want to see if Dylan has that, if he has that type of ability. And you don't know that until he's under fire. Now, I didn't see that against UTEP. That's what I would like to see, but I didn't see that, So, and physically, he's just, Mahomes is not. I don't have a six-pack,
right?
So I'm not saying anything like that. So we're going to see how agile he is. He has really good pocket awareness. I don't want to say great yet because I haven't seen enough of him. But it seems as if he has that, and that's extremely important in a quarterback to have pocket awareness where you can sense the rush. You can feel it, so you can shift your body left, you can shift your body right. You can step up, you can spin out and make things happen. So I think he has good pocket awareness. Now, whether or not he can spin around and get outside the pocket and throw a pass on a run, I don't know yet when you're really under duress. And we won't know that until he plays the game, until you're really under fire. So that's why this week against Colorado, even with Colorado, though, they were not extremely aggressive the first half. So we're going to see if they have the ability to put a pass rush on him. We're going to see if they come with some secondary blitzes. We're going to see if they disguise some coverages. Those are the things that and I'm not expecting Dylan to pick those things up right away. I think he'd probably be better prepared than most younger quarterbacks, but he's going to miss that. But then you want to see, does he have the ability to elude the rush, escape the rush, get 5 or 6 yards where it's second and medium, second and short, or if he can make a pass on the run, which I know he can throw on the run on the move, but those things we won't know until we actually see him under fire.
Well, it's interesting, this matchup. Obviously they're not on the field at the same time, but the gunslingers out there. I think if you're Dylan, you ultimately want to look like Shedeur Sanders. I mean, Shedeur plays really well. Only threw 3 interceptions last year. The interception he had in week 1 was off some guy's leg. So
they're very similar because the knock on Shedeur is that he's not going to break away. He does not want to run.
No,
Shedeur does not want to.
Well,
run.
he's interesting because he's an escape artist. He's really tough to, he's good at like extending a play.
Exactly.
But if he takes off running, he's not very fast.
He's not. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But he, you always want to keep your eyes downfield and look for things, but he does not want to run.
No.
I mean, he doesn't. That's why he got sacked so many times last year, and that can play into our favor. Now he can throw on a run, he can move and get out of the pocket, and he has good pocket awareness. And he'll hang in there like he did. That one touchdown pass he threw, he hung in there about as long as he could.
Oh yeah.
But he read the blitz. He knew it. He knew where to put the football, and that's what he does extremely well. And if we can get to him, then I think our chances of winning, are increased dramatically because he does not want to run. They were trying to run the football a little bit more. They were not as committed as we were against UTEP. But I'm not surprised because Shedeur can probably handle anything you throw at him coverage-wise. He's going to get you into the right protection. He's going to get you into the right play. And they got some playmakers that can turn a hitch into a 90-yard touchdown, right? So his situation is different. I think Raiola could be there once we get that. When I'm looking down the line, right? So they're going to take more chances, and they're going to be better equipped to deal with adversity versus Nebraska's offense.
Yeah, it is interesting. I think if obviously Colorado won this game last year, 36-14. Nebraska's a completely different looking team. There's a lot of turnovers that went into that. And obviously Colorado in the second half was able to turn it on. Coach Rule would say over and over again, That was a close game until the last, quarter, and then it looked like a blowout, but Nebraska felt like hung in there closer. And I think that's where I think a lot of people are going to feel like Nebraska has an opportunity to win this game, is that their defense is in a much better place than Colorado's. We'll see if Colorado's made a significant improvement, but you mentioned it, even against NDSU, Shedeur is getting hit pretty good. He only got sacked once, but he was getting hit pretty good. And Nebraska's defense, they've been talking a big game all offseason. They want to be the number one defense in the nation. I feel like they're going to get some licks on Shedeur.
If he has a clean pocket, it's going to be a tough night for Nebraska.
Oh, yeah.
I think it'll be more representative of what you saw last year, opening season against Texas. Who did they kill?
Oh, TCU. Yeah.
TCU, right? If he has a clean pocket, and those guys they're going to have fresh legs, that's going to be a scary thing for Nebraska. I think you're going to see Coach White come up with a game plan. They're going to apply pressure to him. If they can't get it with their front four, they're going to bring some secondary blitzes, some linebacker blitzes, a lot of stunts, a lot of things to try to confuse that offensive line to get them off rhythm. If you do that, that's when you got a chance to slow them down. I like to listen to player interviews because that way you can kind of get into their head. And if you saw Shedeur's interview at the second half, he was like, we got to score every time we touch the football. We got to score every time we touch the football. So he knows that, and I wouldn't say he knows, but by what happened in the first quarter, that North Dakota State was having as much success that they were having, he was like, okay, we're going to have to match that, because that's the mindset we had. And our defense was much better in 1988 when we played Oklahoma State, when they had the triplets and they had a Barry Sanders, right? We knew that we were going to have to score some points. Now, I wasn't thinking 65.
We'll take it, though.
Yeah, we'll take it. But we had the mindset that, hey, we got a good defense, no question about it, but they have a great offense. So we're going to have to match that intensity and match that production. And so that's why I like to listen to the mindsets. And I know that Colorado on offense is a veteran team, at least in their skill position players, their quarterback and receivers, and they're highly confident. So that's the threshold that I look at. Now, Nebraska is a lot younger team. They don't quite know themselves of what they can actually do. And they have a better indication of that after last week against UTEP, against UTEP, right? So they're confident, as you saw with their celebration in the locker room, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So they're gaining that confidence, but they still really, really don't know. And to be frank with you, you don't know until you line up and you play the football game or what type of battle you're going to be in.
Yeah. I always got to think the coaches learn a lot. You think you get one thing, then you go play a couple games in the season, and you have a different idea of what your team is.
But I tell you what I like, man, and that's why I like Coach Rule and his administration. Coach White is on top of it. They're going to get those guys mentally prepared, and they're going to have a good, solid game plan on both sides of the football. And I think we're going to have the same thing on special teams. They're going to take it up as far as they can take it up notch-wise, if they have the ability to do that. And they're going to find out. I bet that's going to be a lot what Coach Rule talks about this week is we're going to find out what we have. We're going to find out the leaders that we really have. We're going to find out if we have any dogs. We're going to find out if we have some leaders. He's going to challenge those guys. And that's what I like about Coach Rule. He's going to challenge those guys and make them step up. And that's what you have to do to get better week in and week out, year after year. And that's why Coach Rule has had the success he's had in his career, collegiate-wise, his second and third year, because he knows. And I listened to him preseason where he's saying the leap that they want to take, right? And when you hear it, you believe it. And that's why I have a lot of confidence in his coaching staff.
Yeah, it's a big week for Nebraska, in the program. It's a big week for Coach Rule in year two. And it's a big week for Deion Sanders. So somebody's going to have to come out a winner.
And we're going to see administrative-wise, but we can take that leap and improve that, get into that stadium within 5-10 minutes. 45 minutes.
All right, let's take a quick break. Again, we got one more session here of a weekly wrap sessions with All-American quarterback Steve Taylor. We haven't talked too much Travis Hunter yet, so we'll talk a little bit about him coming up next year on weekly wrap sessions. We'll be back after this.
Have you ever gotten a car deal so good that you can brag about for decades? This is that deal. The government has given us a $4,000 in instant credit on vehicles already at the historically lowest prices. Cars that were over $50,000 just 2 years ago are now selling below $20,000. See the deals here and drive away the car of your dreams at a price you never thought possible. Go to 4000off.com, 400off.com to learn more.
Are you worried about storm damage causing issues with your basement? F Foundation Repair fixes basements with supreme waterproofing and exact concrete leveling for residential or commercial clients. They service wet basements, leaky walls, damp crawl spaces, bowing or cracked bricks or drywall, and more. Whether you're in Southeast Nebraska, the Tri-Cities area, or Northeast Kansas, they'll easily make the trip to you. Get a free evaluation today by visiting WeFixBasements.com or call 402-804-1024. F Foundation Repair. We fix basements.
General Fire and Safety has been keeping Lincoln businesses and commercial structures safe for more than 50 years. From a simple fire extinguisher to full fire suppression systems, Lincoln has trusted General Fire and Safety to provide top-of-the-line products, installation, and maintenance. If you're starting a new business in a brand new building, call on General Fire and Safety to help you plan a fire safety system that fits the specific needs of your business, employees, and customers. Call General Fire and Safety today at 402-261-0116.
Riddles Jewelry is excited to be celebrating 65 years. 65 years of so many incredible memories celebrating with each of your special moments. In celebration of the 65th Riddles Jewelry anniversary, we will be offering up to 40% off all engagement rings and all diamond fashion jewelry. The excitement doesn't stop there. Riddles Jewelry is also offering 18 months, 0% interest, and $0 down financing on all qualifying purchases. Riddles Jewelry has always been known for incredible customer service, one of the largest selections of engagement rings, and don't forget about the on-site jeweler. Come celebrate with us at Riddles Jewelry, your one-stop diamond shop with exclusive Levian jewelry, Pandora Charm jewelry, and more. All at Riddles inside Gateway Mall.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
For 15 years, Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping has been helping Lincoln become healthier, happier, and more fit through our proven combination of kickboxing, strength training, and nutrition coaching. And to celebrate 15 years of success, we're offering you 50% off our next 10-week challenge beginning September 14th. That's 10 weeks of fun group fitness classes and individualized coaching for half off. And at the end of the 10 weeks, someone's walking away with $1,000 for the best transformation. Come check it out. What do you have to lose? Click on the banner at theticketfm.com to learn more. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping at 40th and Yankee Hill or 70th and Vine. And check us out online at fxblincoln.com.
Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they are committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
It's the fall sports season, and that means that the school year is back in session and you're planning road trips for Nebraska football games and following your kids around to their different events. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors lot is full of great vehicles to take home so you don't have to worry about your current car struggling through another season. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Lake and find your next ride. As your fall schedule gets busy, you'll need a reliable way to get to your destinations. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
What's the radon level at your home? Don't know? Find out with a call to Bryant Air Conditioning and Heating. Make sure your home is safe with a radon check from Bryant. If you've already tested, ask Bryant for a free estimate for mitigation. Once completed, you'll get a report showing how much safer your home is. When it comes to radon, call Bryant, 467-1111 for testing and mitigation. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
General Fire and Safety has been keeping Lincoln businesses and commercial structures safe for more than 50 years. From a simple fire extinguisher to full fire suppression systems, Lincoln has trusted General Fire and Safety to provide top-of-the-line products, installation, and maintenance. If you're starting a new business in a brand new building, call on General Fire and Safety to help you plan a fire safety system that fits the specific needs of your business, employees, and customers. Call General Fire and Safety today at 402-261-0116.
We are back for one final segment here on Weekly Rap Sessions with All-American quarterback Steve Taylor.
How can you not like that tune, man? I just like that little beat. I love it, man.
It's the year of Shabuzi here on the Weekly Rap Sessions.
3%.
Yeah, there wasn't even not much of a vote last week in Stadium. Shabuzi did not get Song of the Day, but it is our Song of the Year. So we will fight for it. Maybe we'll make a comeback later in the year. Maybe a couple different songs. Maybe that Post Malone song is on fire.
I wish I had that little polka song that they play. I like that.
Oh yeah.
I can't believe how cheesy I'm getting with these little songs. I would love that, man. I found myself like, okay,
yeah,
I can see myself on the sideline getting pumped. That pumps me up when I hear that.
Yeah,
there's just something about the rhythm and the beat of it. I don't know.
Yeah, then I like how they have the lyrics up on screen so everybody can sing the Irish song. I don't know if that's the one you're talking about.
No,
no,
I'm
you
not
don't like
talking
that
about
one.
the
No,
Irish
not
song.
that one.
What is that? Is it an Irish? I don't know what.
I believe so. Like
it's the one pop polka song that they play.
Yeah.
It's the polka song or something.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean,
Okay.
I thought they did a good job in
We're gonna get
entertaining.
we're
us
gonna
at
get
least.
that one next. I
Yeah.
like that one. I'm gonna add that to.
All right,
Those will
we
be my
can do
two
that.
songs of the year. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
right.
It is Nebraska Colorado week. We've mentioned it. There's a couple of things to still kind of talk about here, and one is Travis Hunter. Obviously, he is going to be likely the best player on the field with some pretty darn good players. Shedeur to be included, and maybe you could argue that he's even better. But obviously, Travis Hunter plays both ways. So I want to
stupid crazy.
I want to
crazy,
ask
man.
you about that. I mean, I know there's been the Champ Bayleys, the Woodsons over the years, guys that have done it.
Nothing like that.
But he played almost every snap against NDSU.
100 plus plays.
Yeah.
But you can't. My mother-in-law's Kent never did anything, right? That's her line with Kent. But what he's doing is unbelievable.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's sustainable. I don't think it's sustainable. Maybe in college.
Yeah.
Definitely not. I just don't see that.
Can't do that in the
professional.
pros.
No, first of all, you can't prepare. You can't be in both meetings. There's
Yeah.
so much going on. Collegiate wise, maybe. But this dude is off the charts. So that's why I wish we had them later in the year where they were banged up.
Yeah.
And they're going to have fresh legs.
Yeah.
They're going to have fresh legs. He's just the plays he made on both sides of the football, and he's physical. He'll hit you. He'll knock you out.
Yeah.
He'll try to knock you out.
Yeah.
So he catches a 5-6 yard hitch, which you saw. He's gone.
Yeah.
And so a couple of guys got beyond or behind Nebraska defensive backs. So that can't happen.
Yeah.
That can't happen this week.
Well, it's interesting. Nebraska's
Separation.
secondary is definitely going to be tested.
They're going to be tested.
I think it's interesting. You almost dare Colorado to run the ball against you because they're hesitant to do it themselves and they don't have much of a running game.
I would prefer to see them to try to do that. I mean, really make an effort to have 20 to 35 called rushing plays.
Yeah.
You're not going to see any, RPOs with him getting outside with Shedeur.
No.
I don't think you'll see that, right?
Yeah.
But we're going to see what type of attack they have. They're going to go after us.
Yeah.
They're going to stretch the field vertically. They're going to go after us.
Well,
we have to get to Shedeur.
Yeah. And Travis Hunter is going to get a lot of the headlines, as well he should. On about
No doubt.
700 yards receiving, 700 plus last year. It looks like he's taking a big step up, 3 touchdowns in the opener. But Jimmy Horn Jr. is also a guy to look out for.
Yeah.
He's the fastest player on the team, almost 200 yards in the opener.
That's number 6, right? Is he number 6?
I'm not sure what number he wears,
6 or
but
2,
yeah.
But no, they have 2 or 3 guys that can take it to the house. I mean, it's unfortunate because those guys they do get overlooked because of what Hunter is doing.
Yeah.
But they have a receiving core that can hurt you.
Yeah.
I mean, they can hurt you with the deep ball. They can hurt you with the short ball, the run after catch and all that stuff. So we're going to have to be on our P's and Q's, get in front of guys, secure our tackling, a lot of gang tackling. We can't have guys out in space trying to make a single tackle. We need 3 or 4 bodies around those guys. Our linebackers are going to have to be active. I think the most important thing is just defensively having a game plan to really mix it up, throw as much as you can that our defense can handle to get Shedeur off rhythm, to get some confusion up top with the offensive line and making their checks and calls, stunts, move some things around, linebackers fake blitzing, dropping in the coverage. So I think, I know Coach White has that. He has that ability to do that. So he's going to come up with the best game plan he can to try to confuse, manipulate, get their timing off. So that if they do that, then I think that would increase our chances of winning a great deal.
Do you think on offense, Nebraska, you kind of think about the run-pass balance, because what North Dakota State did well in the first half when they were leading Colorado at halftime was 2 things, and they kind of worked together, was converting on third downs.
Yes.
But also, keeping Colorado's offense off the field. And the run game is a big part of that. But Nebraska doesn't have a running quarterback, as NDSU did. So it's interesting to see how they'll attack that way.
You're exactly right. Because they had a poised quarterback and they had a veteran quarterback. They had a lot of misdirection. A lot of movement with the guys going in motion. A lot of it's not trickery. It was really misdirection. Picking one way, countering back. They had a very good offensive line, and they were consistently running the football. That's when I said Colorado at that time appeared to be a little soft. They were moving the line of scrimmage, hitting some short passes, and attacking. They really controlled the line of scrimmage. So I was like, okay, we got a good chance here. I'm surprised that they're as soft as they are, Colorado, with all the guys that they acquired throughout the portal and their ability and their physicality, right? That's what we read and heard a lot about. But North Dakota State was holding their own.
Yeah.
Holding their own. And that's the FCF school. So, but then Colorado did come back with a nice, solid game plan. They got people in front of them. They slowed them down. And then they did what they did offensively. So we're going to see if that's the strategy of what Nebraska can do. And that's why it's important to see what Raiola can do. We just can't line up with, 2 right, 2 left, 3 right, 1 left, and be basic. We're going to have some movement and do some things to keep them off kilter.
Yeah, we'll see. Satterfield is definitely going to be under the microscope this week. So will Dylan Raiola.
Hey, so far, Satterfield's done a great job.
Yeah.
So I'm forgetting last year.
That's
He's
right.
done a great job, and we pretty much took care of the football for the most part.
Yeah,
pleasing.
Absolutely. And we'll see, the rotation at running back is going to be interesting. Dowdell, had the first touchdown. Irvin had the most touchdowns. He had 2 of them. Ramir had the most carries, and I think the most impressive run.
Yeah, we had a running back by committee, and I'm good with that. We talked about that in the preseason. I'm good with that. If we can get close to that 200-yard mark with 2 or 3 running backs, I'm good with that. You always like to see one guy that can be in there for 3 or 4 downs. You don't have to switch him out and can carry the load and have the durability. But for right now, I'm okay with a running back by committee.
Yeah, it looked good in week 1. We'll see what happens here in week 2. And it's also worth noting too, remember Nebraska, as they've gone through these losing streaks, I hate to bring them up, but to Iowa and Wisconsin, they've lost 3 straight to Colorado. So you got to stop that.
What's your gut? You heard my opinion about Colorado, Nebraska. What's your gut? What's your gut about this
after going into the season, like you were kind of saying, I kind of gave Colorado an edge. After watching week 1 of both teams, I feel a lot better about Nebraska's offense. Yeah. Obviously, I was kind of wait and see to see what it looked like. I feel like Nebraska with the home field advantage and the better defense is the most important thing. Should be able to edge this one out and get a win.
So I would say get your bet in now.
Yeah.
I think Nebraska's -7.
Yeah, they were.
I think get your bet in now.
Yeah.
I like that bet. I do like that bet.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we will see. Hopefully, we are talking about a victory, and then if Nebraska beats Colorado, you're never going to hear anything outside of people saying Nebraska 7-0 start coming. So
when I say like the bet, I mean I like the odds against the Huskers. Take the Huskers.
Yeah.
I think we'll cover.
Yeah.
I hope we cover, but I'm not going to bet.
I like to hear that. We are confident Huskers here in the booth in a big week against Buffalo. Of course, the Buffaloes. Deion Sanders coming to town with Colorado. Prime time in prime time. It's going to be a big week. We'll talk all about it next week on Weekly Wrap Sessions with All-American quarterback Steve Taylor.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the